So calculus quotient rule problem for a trig function, and this one is 3 times the quantity 1 minus sine x over 2 cosine x, and we're asked to find the first derivative. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do, Gordon, is I'm going to start to distribute here and here. Is that alright? And get f of x is equal to 3 minus sine x over 2 cosine x. From here, the thing I'm always trying to do is build that list. I think it's just smart. If you can do it without building a list, go ahead. But this way, at least you have your parts put away. So I just make a list. And I'm not sure this is how most people do or don't do it. But anyway, so my new little f of x here, the top function is 3 minus... Oh, I should have distributed this 3 here, shouldn't I? Minus 3 sine x. Is that right? So f prime of that top function is negative 3. What's the first derivative of sine x? It's cosine x. So there's that. Okay? G of x is that bottom function, and that bottom function is 2 cosine x. So 1 is that constant multiple, isn't it? So it just stays there, 2. So what's the derivative of cosine x? Minus sine x, isn't it? I mean, you're right, I get where you're going with it, but I just want you to know that's where I'm getting this. So you're right, it's going to turn out to be negative 2 sine x, isn't it? Because it was 2 times that amount. From here, I'm just going to start building my f prime at x. F prime at x is equal to g of x, right? So 2 cosine x times f prime at x, which was negative 3 cosine x, isn't that right? Seriously, tell me if I'm screwing up anywhere. Minus, and now it's f of x, isn't it? So it's 3 minus 3 sine x times g prime x, which was negative 2 sine x. All over g of x squared, and g of x is 2 cosine x. So the whole thing squared, right? Am I doing okay? Yeah, I'm nervous about screwing this part up out here. Can you see it? So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about multiplying this negative 2 sine x times this negative sine right here. Because they're just factors, aren't they? I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I guess I should go back to my work. Anyway, I'm going to distribute this and get f prime at x is equal to 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Cosine times cosine is cosine squared x, isn't it? Is this still good math? If I multiply this, if I multiply this negative sign and this one, I get this would be positive, wouldn't it? You see what I just did? Is that okay? I'm just going to cancel it out. So it would be plus 6 sine x, isn't that right? Minus 6 sine squared x. Let me check my math. Is that still good? Remember that exponents are distributive over multiplication, so this is actually 2 squared times cosine, so 2 squared is 4. Remember this, that cosine times cosine is cosine squared x, isn't it? Everybody good with that? So we get cosine squared x. How many of you would love to stop right there? Only Caitlin put her hand up. She's like that chick on The Voice. She had her hand up first. So I get to be on your team. I'm a really good singer. Okay, maybe not. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to factor out 6, I think. I'm just going to do this algebra. This sucks, but you have to do this algebra. So I'm going to factor this out. I'm going to factor out 6. So times negative cosine squared x plus sine x minus sine squared x. I wonder why I can't factor out. I wonder why I can't factor that whole thing out and get 1 there. Anybody see what I'm talking about? Oh, because it won't help me because I'll get stuck with that cosine at the bottom. So Jonathan, can you see this cosine squared x here? So I'm going to get f prime at x is equal to 3/2 times now look, can you see what I'm doing here? Look at this. See if you can follow me on this. I'm looking at this over this now. That's -1, isn't it? So that's -1. Now I'm going to look at this. Sine over cosine is what? Tan. Oh, can't do that. Oh, I wanted to do that. Oh, you know what I have to do here, Gordon? I have to do, look at this. This is a mess, man. Because this is going to be sine x over cosine x. You with me, Gordon? Times 1 over cosine x. Can you see what I'm doing? So this is sine over cosine is tan, isn't it? So this is tan x here. So I get a tan x here, tan x here. And what's 1 over cosine? 1 over cosine? Cosecant, right? No, 1 over cosine is secant. That's all right. Good work. Now finally, sine squared theta over cosine squared theta is what? Now I'm looking at this piece. Tan squared theta. Tan squared x, but yeah. I'm not going to make you do it, but there's more to be done even from here. Yeah? You like it? So, I do expect you to go through some of the identities.